Hey everyone, it's Don again, Captain Cross Stitch here. Welcome to my channel, all about cross stitch and sometimes some extra stuff you didn't know that you didn't know. It's Sunday, April 30th, no, March 30th, sorry about that. And this is my Floss 2 video number 18. Coming to you today, sporting my new Lainey Wilson t-shirt. I discovered her recently. I'm not a country music person, but I absolutely love her. She's really good. But anyway, so what have we got to cover today, everyone? Well, I guess I should put out some thank yous to all of my subscribers. If you're coming back, thanks for continuing to partake in my journey. And if you're new here, welcome. I'm hoping that you find my content interesting, and please spread the word to your fellow cross-stitchers. I try to be upbeat. The last couple of videos I've been kind of down, but we'll see. I don't want to say I'm kind of recovering, but I feel like maybe I am, so I'm not as depressed as I was last video. So, but anyway, so what did we I'm doing this video now because I feel since I do it once a month, I didn't want to get caught up in doing 2 videos in April. So this is a good place to jump in. So for the month of March, I didn't do a whole lot of stitching, but I think I covered some interesting points. My book of days is pretty empty for March. I didn't really work on much of anything, to be honest. Like I said, I've been kind of depressed and haven't really had the mojo to work on a lot of things like I would like to. But maybe April will turn that around. So, what do I want to cover first? So I'll just get right into my whips that I worked on in the month of March, in no particular order, if I can reach it. This is one I haven't touched in a while, but I did work on it some this past month, or this current month. This is from Tempting Tangled Designs, my friend and colleague Deborah Dick, who runs that operation and does all the designs herself. This is called Key to My Heart, and yeah, I know it's black and white. It doesn't come across as well that well in the picture, but I got it in a hoop. I won't take it out, but so I'm using a DMC variegated floss, 107, I think it is. Yeah, 107. This is being stitched on a piece of strawberry latte, I think it is, from Grace Notes Fabric. It's a 14 count. So according to my stitching program that I use, the Markup XP. I'm at 70% completion. So, yeah, not too far from finishing this puppy up. So I'm hoping to get there. By year's end. But we shall see. If I can get it back in the bag. I really need a needle minder on that. Okay, come on. All right, the next item. And I forgot to mention that that was in my Lovebirds project bag from Pinky Promises, I believe, on Etsy. My next project is the Honeybee Quaker from Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I always forget what I'm doing here. Oh, okay, there it is. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated today. So that's as far as I've gotten. And this is being done on a piece of 16 count Ada called Marsh Fern from To Die For Fabrics. It's a really nice color. I think it's perfect for this design. And I got that from a stash of stuff that was given to me. I'm going to draw a blank on the guy's name, but he sent me a big pile of stuff for free. Very kind of him. And this is in my honeybee bag from Handmade by Debbie. I picked this up at the Hodgepodge up in Pennsylvania, Strasburg, I believe. All right. My next one is in just a generic bag, nothing to write home about. But this is my Nora Corbett called Minerva. That's one of the two designs that I'm going to be taking to Charlotte with me in the fall, in October, to Queen City Stitch Retreat, where Nora is the guest of honor once again. it doesn't look like much right now, but, and this is being stitched on a 16 count piece of iced coffee is what it's called, from Garibaldi's Needleworks. It's a really lovely model on that. Yeah, and that's a little over 6 months away for that retreat. 6 months? Yeah, 6 months. 5 or 6 months. 6 months. 7 months, whatever. That'll be a blast, I'm sure. This next one, I wish I could stitch on it all the time. I think it's a beautiful design. This is my Siberian owl from Owl Forest Designs. Now, I didn't buy the fabric that was specifically made for this project that has the kind of printed background going on. I can't afford that kind of thing. But and this is where I'm at. So this is a upper left corner start. So there's a lot of foliage. And that's being stitched on a 14 count Ada from the Forbidden Fiber company called Mothwing. Another one from that stash that I got. He had a lot of unusual pieces of fabric in there, and I mean, most of them, the bulk of them, were hand-dyed, which I was surprised at. But I guess maybe it was, count he didn't care for. 14s and 16s is what I got. But he got like a big bag like this size filled of 14s and another bag this size of 16s. So I'm set for fabric for a while, at least for smaller projects. And this is my owl bag. From Shiva Designs. I picked this up at the Grace Nurse Retreat last year from Melissa. She does wonderful work, and I'll talk more about her later. Alright, and my usual Saturday project, which has been going on for more than a year now, but it's a pretty involved project, let's just put it that way. This is my Joan Elliott Crescent Moon Dragon. If you haven't seen it before, I pretty much show this every video, and as you can see, there's a lot of stuff in there. There's Kreinik and beads, but it's coming along. I've been working on this area in the hoop, so I've been the head and the neck. I'm just about done with that, and my plans are to I'm going to do the back stitching in that area and get it done. So I'm going to do it like a section at a time. So I finish the neck and head. I'm going to go ahead and back stitch it. I won't do the beads. I'm going to save the beads for absolute last. But that's where it is right now. You can see the whole thing. I always forget the name of the fabric. It's on a 14 count. I want to say it might be Andrew. I'm not sure. I apologize. You'd think I'd know by now what it's called, but the tag is still in there. I just can't. I got it all wrapped up. I don't know if I can see it or not. Yeah, I can't see it. But it might be Barbara. I think it could be Barbara. Yeah, I think it is Barbara. 14 count. In my dragon bag. By Pinky Promises, I believe. Yeah. Okay, now this last whip for the month of March. I just started a couple of days ago. So I got it in a special bag that I just bought. It's a beautiful bag. I'll just show it to you. So this is from Shiva Designs. And then the back, it's very colorful. And the project, this is, I had to show you a picture of it because I don't have this is my very first Chatelaine design. It's called Summer Fairy. Okay. So like I said, I just started it. And I'm doing this on a piece of 14 count buttercup from Grace Notes Designs. And the name totally fits the description. I mean, it looks like, buttercup color. So there's my start. It's a top center start. So the way the design is presented in the instructions that I bought, it does it in sections. So I think it was one of the classes that they offered at some point. So I'll be doing it in sections as I work my way to the bottom, and I'll be learning a lot of stuff because I've never done specialty stitches before or anything like that. Plus, I'll have something to talk about on Chatelaine Wednesday when we have our Zoom meeting this week. And it's got a lot of, specialty threads. There's dinky dyes, there's Glorianas, some water lilies, and of course, some DMC as well. So, going back to this bag. So when I ordered this off of Etsy, and it was during my month of, kind of depression. So I ordered that bag, and Melissa was so kind. She sent me a little note with it, a note of encouragement. She normally will send out, I'm assuming, thank you card for people who order, but I'm not going to read it to you. But she hand wrote something on the back, and it really meant a lot to me that she did that. So if you're watching, Melissa, thank you. I really appreciate it. And she wasn't the only one that reached out to me during my month of doldrums. A friend of mine from that I met at the first Grace Notes retreat is from Trudy Thomas, who her and her daughter came to the retreat, and we've been friends ever since. And she sent me a lovely card that she made. I'm assuming she made this. It looks like handmade. So, yeah, it was very, very thoughtful. So thank you, Trudy. I appreciate it. It was very nice to get a surprise in the mail, one day, and something that somebody didn't have to do that really made my day. So thank you again. Let's see. Okay. What should I go to next? This pause is brought to you unofficially by Coca-Cola. Okay, so I got a bunch of haul to show you. I've been kind of light on that in recent months because I've just been broke, but I got a little bit of money. I'm selling off a bunch of crap that basically takes up space that I'm never going to look at ever again. So that means I'm selling off probably like 99% of my comic book collection, and just a bunch of stuff that I don't touch anymore, that I no longer have the interest in. I had a closet full of Legos, and I got board games and video games and video game systems and all kinds of stuff that I'm gonna get rid of. So make room for things to make it look nicer down here. And so so anyway, I got a little bit of money so far from that, and then I'm gonna continue to I got another 40 boxes worth of comics ready to go. He comes by once a week and picks up a carload. So, all right. So, I got the February issue of Cross Stitcher magazine. I hadn't bought one of these in a while because they're pretty pricey. They're almost $20 a pop. I don't have a subscription, although I probably should get one. I'm not gonna. This issue had a couple of cool designs. There was an owl that's on the cover, and this sailing ship. That's pretty cool. They're a pretty good magazine. I used to get them pretty much religiously. That when I was buying stuff. But like I said, I'm not going to flip through it or anything. But there's a really, I mean, it's a very brief, like one page article about Paulette Stewart, the founder of Plum Street Samplers. It was kind of interesting to find out that she's not from here. Because the bulk of her designs are, American, early America, that kind of Americana kind of style, and the things. And it was interesting to hear how she got started, and that she finds American history very, very interesting, even though I'm assuming she's British. That's where she lives. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, it was a neat little article, kind of revealing. I always like to get behind the scenes, with creators. I've talked with Deborah Dick of Tempting Tangles, and how she got her start, and that was very eye-opening, and I'm hoping to do the same with Nora Corbett when I get to meet her this fall, so I'm going to pick her brain a little bit. Alright, then as fate would have it, so I had my subscription to Just Cross Stitch magazine had expired, so the last issue I got was like winter of 2024. So I bought the spring issue off the newsstand, and then like the next day, because I did renew, the next day I got the same issue in the mail, so now I have two of them. So I would like to give one of these away if anybody wants it. Just it's going to be a free giveaway, so if you're interested, leave me a comment with the word spring in it, and I'll pick a random winner from those of you that want to enter, and then I'll mail that out to you. It doesn't matter where you're from or anything. So, and it's got a really good thing in there. So I think I could show you this. Yeah. So they have a 2025 stitch along inside. This issue is the first of 4 parts, which will be the 4 regular issues of the magazine throughout the year. And it's called Nature's Journey. I think it'll be pretty cool. I ordered the called for fabric from Bestitch Me, so that should be coming soon. I'll show you. So you can see there's the beginning of it, and each quadrant is a different season. So the leaves change or what have you, or there's different insects or different animals in each quarter of the year, each season. So that should be fun to do. I doubt I'll keep up with it, but anyway. Okay, moving on. So I think my last video, I don't think I had a fabric of the month that I had received, or if I did, I don't remember. I should have watched my video just to see what I said or didn't say. But anyway, if I repeat, I apologize. I think this was the old radio. Yeah, I think I showed this one, but this is from Grace Notes Fabric of the Month, neutral, called Ginger, and I get that in a fat quarter, fat quarter, in 14 count Ada. Very, they do really well at naming their colors. I mean, you know, I'm sure the naming comes after the fact because, you know, based on the dye lot, but and then the more recent one I just got is called, I don't know if it's pronounced, I think it's Eeyore or Eeyore. I think it's based on the Winnie the Pooh donkey, which is appropriate. It kind of looks like that color. You know, might be a little bit lighter than Eeyore, but so again, 14 count fat quarter. Yeah, I'm gonna end up with a pile of fabric if I don't if I don't start using them. I mean, it seems like I just signed up for it like yesterday, and I've already gotten 3. Okay. A couple of things I bought from the Stitchery. I hadn't ordered anything from them in like forever, and some of the recent catalogs had some designs in there from well, I'm not sure who the designer is, but anyway, the company that puts it out is Designworks. But the reason I got them is they're very colorful and they have colorful fabric. So this is called, no, it's not called anything. Interesting. Well, anyway, it's a Halloween theme. It's a dark old house, haunted house or something. And it looks like it's on black Ada, which I have another design that I'm hoping to start soon. That's also on black Ada, which I will share with you in a minute. And then another one from them. It's just, it's very colorful. I couldn't pass it up because of the colors. It's frogs sitting on a thing with mushrooms, and yeah. I just couldn't pass up the colorfulness of it. All right, and then for the, since I was talking about black Ada, I always get stuff backwards. So another project that I want to start is also a Halloween theme, but it's also music themed. And I say that because the piece is, I'm calling it Dance Macabre, which is from the album of the same name by Duran Duran, and it's a still shot taken from their AI assisted music video for that song from that album from 2003, I think it was. So anyway, I charted it myself, and this is what the picture will look like. So you can see the members of the band, they're made up in like kind of ghoulish makeup and whatnot. So there's Simon LeBon, Nick Rose, John Taylor, and Roger Taylor from the video. And what I did was I charted it using an online program called Stitch Fiddle. And all the black, this would normally be full coverage, and the chart that actually has it full coverage, but all the black, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to leave that as part of I'm going to make the fabric that color. So I'm going to be using some black Ada for that. I already have everything I need. So I just need to start it. So I'll be starting my own created project. I think it's pretty cool. Somebody in an online stitching thing on Facebook that I belong to had mentioned something, and I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna do in that piece that I just showed you, and they're like, oh, you should do Rio, which would be a pretty interesting piece, but I wouldn't want to stitch it. I mean, it would look cool, but it would be boring as anything. Because that was originally a California artist. I forget his first name. Last name is Nagel. It was his painting that was the cover for the Rio album. But anyway, so now my most recent 1, 2, 3 stitch order. So in no particular order, I got All Hallows Eve, designed by Emily Pengelly from Blue Ridge Design. Some of you may have seen this before. I've seen it. I'm trying to remember which of my Floss Tube people that I watched had this. Not sure. It could have been, what was her name? My memory is failing me today. Okay, and I got not 1, not 2, but 3 Bella Filipinas that I'm trying to fill in my collection. I'm making some progress. This is Luna Mystica. Whoa. Sorry about the glare. I'm not going to take them out of the plastic. That one is kind of pale to me. I think I might, if I ever stitch this, I may have to change up the color scheme a bit. Next is the Star of Christmas. That's really pretty. And then last but not least is the Enchantress of the Abyss. That's a really cool mermaid. Oh, and somebody said it was like International Mermaid Day. When was that? Anybody know what the official date is? I'll have to look it up, but you can comment and let me know if you want. Because I feel like I should have done something for that, but I didn't. Alright, and then just, fill in my collection on Mirabilias. I got one of those. Echo Lake. That's a really cool design. I love the color palette on that, the purples and greens. Very cool. Alright, so this is from Tiny Modernist. This is called Autumn Night Garden. That's really cool. I have a thing for moths and butterflies, apparently. Even though in real life I could care less about them. I mean, they're cool to look at, but I wouldn't want them like flying in my face or in my. I had one fly down my throat once. It was not pleasant. All right, and then this is from Papillon Creations, Birds of a Feather. And I have a bizarre, strange affinity for peacocks. I'm not sure why, but I collect peacock patterns, so anytime I come across one that I think looks pretty cool, I'll get it. And then I got two from the Drawn Thread, which rounds out my collection of the Seasonal Garden series. This is the Spring Garden. And then the Summer Garden. I know I have Autumn, which I think I have kitted or partially kitted. I have the fabric in there. I need to buy the floss for it, so that's in my to be completed kit. Yeah, I've been trying to fill in because I have several projects where I actually have the reverse. I have the fabric first and not the floss, so it's kind of weird for me. Usually I do the opposite. I get the floss and then take forever to buy a piece of fabric. So. And then the last one is called Girandola. It's a fairy from Joan Elliott Design. And I'm collecting her designs as well. Very, very pretty. And then there's another one that I ordered. That didn't ship. It was there when I ordered it, but apparently when they went to fill the order, it has since then become available, and they've already charged my account for it. So I'll have that for next month's video. Because more than likely I won't have much in the way of haul next month. This was an abundance of riches, so to speak, for me, because I spent a lot on just what I just showed you. So. All right. What else do I have going on? Okay, so last month I think I mentioned two new floss tubers, both male. So I wanted to keep that string going with yet another new floss tuber, male. So this month I'm asking you to check out. He goes by Jason X Stitches on FlossTube or on YouTube. He's a little soft-spoken, so make sure you got your volume cranked up. But he's got some very cool stuff, and he definitely has a certain taste in what he stitches. So you'll notice it after you see his first video, because it's obvious that he has a type that he likes to projects he likes to stitch. So check him out. Also, another floss tuber. I'd mentioned her, I'm sure, before, but Her name is Jen, and her FlossTube channel is called Jen's Fiber Web. She's from Illinois, I believe, and she's only been FlossTubing for a year, but she's got a ton of videos, and I've been trying to get caught up on watching her stuff. So where I'm at is towards the end of the last year, is more specifically what I am interested, and what I think you might be interested in seeing, is she has a series of videos for the month of October where she selected, she had kitted up 31 projects, all Halloween or autumn themed, and she was going to work on one project every day, and she had one of those selector wheels on her phone, an app that would choose the project for her. So what she did was, each day she would film like a few minutes of video with her showing you her progress from the day before, what she was working on that day, and then she would do the selector for what the project would be she'd be working on tomorrow. And she did that each day, and then she released those videos in sets of 3. So, like, her first video would be October 1 through 3, and et cetera, et cetera. So she did that the whole month. And then at the end of the month, the last day, she did a rundown of everything she had touched for the month. It was very well thought out. It was well done, and I think it's worth your time to check it out. If nothing else, it might give you ideas for doing something along those lines yourself. The main thing that it's going to have me do is maybe help me this coming month. So I'm leading from that into what my plans are for April. So what I intend to do, so the only planned projects I have, so Wednesday, April 2nd, I'll have my Chatelaine Zoom that night. So I'll be working on my Chatelaine that I showed you earlier. And then I'm going to continue to keep working on my Joan Elliott Crescent Moon Dragon for all the Saturdays. So that leaves, another 20 days or so to decide what, if anything, I work on that day. So what I've done is I put all of my whips in a decision wheel. The sad part is I can't show it to you because I filmed this on my phone, and I can't show you the wheel on my phone. So I'm not sure how I can fix that, unless I can somehow put something. But see, I already paid for the wheel on my iPhone, so it's not like I can just run that program somewhere else unless somebody knows something I don't. I don't know that I can get it on my computer. I'm sure I can get something on my computer, but I don't want to buy another one, or on my tablet. But anyway. But I'll share that with you, what the wheel giveth and what the wheel taketh away, so to speak, for the month of April. It should be fun because I'm bored out of my mind. So anyway, so that's really my only future plans. I know one of the things that I put on the wheel is that Dance Macabre project. I really hope that comes up. as one of my choices when I go to spin the wheel. I don't have anything set in stone. Like if I spin the project, how long I'll work on it. If I only work on it for one day, or if I work on it for 2 days, or work on it the whole week, doesn't really matter to me. Just as long as I can get something to hold my interest and not be depressed. So anyway, so that's really it. You know, in another couple weeks, we'll be only 4 months out from Grace Notes 3. And start of the, at least for me, the start of the retreat season. That'll be August, second week in August. And then from there, it'll be 3 months, or 2 to 3 months, I guess. 2 months. 2 months from after that is the Queen City Stitch Retreat, which again is having Nora Corbett as their guest of honor. So I'm looking forward to that. All right. Any comments or questions? Drop me something below, and I'll get back to you. It's been great, and I'm happy to see everybody, and thanks for stopping by. I don't have any extras this time around, so y'all take care, and this is Captain Cross Stitch signing off. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.